What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our Kentucky Derby horse profiles. All right, let's get to a fun one. Let's get to American Promise for the coach, D Wayne Lukas. I'll put his Equibase page up right now. 3 starts this season with a victory, 9 starts overall, 2 first, 1 second, 1 third. This is pretty common for the Lukas horses when we talk about them. At this time of year, they usually have more starts than everybody else because he just likes to run them a lot. So that's what we're looking at with American Promise. Let's go down here now and let's kind of look at where he's been and what's happened. And you got to look at his 2-year-old season. A bunch of starts, like I said, that down there was 6 starts. Finally broke the maiden on 12:29 at Oaklawn Park. That was his first race that really kind of caught the eye. His first 5 maiden special weight races, I mean, he had a third in there. He had a second in there. He wasn't awful, but that race on at 12:29 at Oaklawn really set him up for a horse that's like, yeah, try the prep races, right? And I think, that was the kind of effort that they kind of probably wanted to see from him all along. The Southwest was not good. 7th place finish there. The Risen Star, not good either. 5th place finish there. And so, again, like a lot of Lukas horses, the form was muddled. There's no doubt about it when you went into the Virginia Derby, and that's why you got a big price on him, where he ran a perfect race. He stalked the pace really nicely. He sat just behind Getaway Car, and they were moving decently fast, and American Promise just sat right there and just took over at the top of the stretch and just dusted that field. So that's all the good news, right? I mean, coming off of the Virginia Derby now to the Kentucky Derby, it was a big race in Virginia. The best race of his career by far was that one. And so it's all positive vibes. However, now that we kind of start to look at the negative part of this, it took a long time to get the maiden broke, but I can kind of forgive that because Lukas horses, sometimes it does take a couple of races, maybe not 6, but a couple. The problem for me with this horse, when I look at him, the Virginia Derby was very good, but it was definitely a weaker race on paper, right? There's no other horses from that race, at least as of right now, that are going to be in the Kentucky Derby. It just was not a strong race on paper for what was behind him. I thought he ran well, but what was behind him, there just wasn't a whole lot. When you look at what he did in the Southwest and in the Risen Star, that's not great. He faced tougher horses there, and he couldn't quite get the positioning, and he just couldn't quite make any kind of an impact on either one of those races. So that's the worry when it comes to American Promise. What's it going to look like when he's back up against the top company again, right? And, the Southwest and the Risen Star, pretty good fields, right? But not like, unbelievable fields either when you look at those 2 races. So, look, I think that's the negative part of him. But again, if he can show up at the Virginia Derby race, here's the deal with him and what I like. I do think he can get really nice positioning. I think he'll sit kind of that trip that you want your Kentucky Derby runner most years. And I know it's not an exact science, and I get that you can win from anywhere, but most years, if you're sitting just behind that first flight, waiting to pounce, that's in a really good spot. And I think that's where he's going to be. I could see him being 3rd, 4th, 5th, up the backside and sitting really nicely. So as far as going this distance, I don't think it's going to be any problem whatsoever. This horse is by Justify out of a Tappet mare. So that's pretty darn good. I don't see any problems with this horse going longer. Probably should be even better going longer. It's a horse that I think if he can stay healthy and kind of keep in decent form, I think he'll be around in some of these races. I don't necessarily love him for the Kentucky Derby, but I do think this is a horse that has the ability to jump up and run a big race. Will it be in Kentucky? I'm just not sure. I'm just skeptical from what I pointed out of like, man, when he faced horses that were a little bit better, he just didn't run quite as well. And that's got me worried coming into this race as well. But like I said, final verdict on him. He's not going to be on my tickets, but I will say, I do think he's going to sit a good trip. And I will say this, when I play D Wayne Lukas horses, they usually don't run well. And when I don't play them, that's when they win. So it's probably a good thing that I'm not going to have this horse on any tickets because I'm a big Lukas fan and I would love to see him win another Kentucky Derby. I think that would be amazing. So, yeah, I don't have him on the tickets. That probably means he's going to run a bang up race and get the job done. So, look, for me, though, I'm just a little bit skeptical of his talent level. Virginia Derby was great. Let's see him do it against tougher horses. That's going to be the big thing for me. So, American Promise is going to be a long shot that's going to get a decent trip. And if you think he can finish off the race and run better this time when he faces tougher company, then I think he is a horse you need to take serious. All right, guys, that'll do it for this Horse Capital. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to if I could talk, stay tuned to the site for more Kentucky Derby coverage.